depth here. Now I'm not making this the same as that because it's faded. So, and then I'm going to imagine that this is white snow. We've got a bit of imagination now, folks. So we've got to darken that area there. That'll be dark because that's in shadow. And I should be darkening, in fact I'll do it now. I'm going to use 181 just to make that just a little stronger. Like that. And then imagine the snow is on top of that, resting on the leaf. Don't want to make it too strong. That's alright. Now, use the ivory colour shaper. We'll stick to that. What I wanted to do is to make this slightly out of focus. Now, the leaves would be sort of greyish green, so I think I'll add that green to this in a moment. And that's the 172. And 181 we can add just a little strength to the underside of that. And maybe just a spot against the snow makes that stand out a little more. And really there's no more that we can do with that at the moment. I may return to that, but at the moment I'm quite happy with how that looks. And it looked great once we put the background on there. I'm going to do the same with that one. I'm going to make that another leaf down there. Let me just show you. That stem comes down here and into that we have another leaf coming on there. Again, the snow will be piled on top of it. Now that's the only real detail that I'm going to be putting in. So now we're going to add colour to the rest of it. What I'm going to do is to imagine that there are other leaves or snow that's on the various details. Look like clouds, don't they? And what I'm going to do now is also imagine that that snow is on the leaf. Got it? So I've already got a very, very rough line there. You can see how that's going to work out. Now some of the areas are going to have grey and some will stay white, but I'm going to fill some of them up. Now I won't do them all. just do a few. And I'm also going to add the other green. This is this 172 in here as well. Now you can do this however you want. All I'm doing is just going to try to imagine that there are some foliage maybe with snow on it, but it doesn't have to have any real pattern. But what we want to do is we can't just have we've got to have like an area there and an area there that will have light and so on as we go round. And so let me do that. There's another area that there where we'll have white coming from behind the flower. Let me do that, and once I've got that in, then I'm going to blend it. Now, in a situation like this, I think what I better do is use a stronger colour shaper. So I'm going to clean my grey colour shaper off, and I'm going to use that. I'll show you how I'm going to be doing that, like that. The thing about this is I can change my mind if I want to, as I go along. But I think you get the idea, and we'll be adding more colour and strength to that. On our next application. But that is the idea. Oh, now, you see, you're going to pick up little bits of the flower. Well, if you do that, I would suggest you rub it out. Now, it's possible, of course, you could look at this and say, well, can't we have some... In fact, that doesn't look too bad, looking at that. So you could have perhaps a little bit of... Oh, I picked it up again, look. Oh, well, that's decided me now. Leave that there, because it could be another rose, couldn't it? Anyway, let me go on with that. I may actually knock that out. I don't like that. I thought I would, but I won't. I decided not to have any other colour in here. So, I've got to be a bit more careful now as I touch the edges of the red rose. Okay, so let me do the rest of that, and then come back and we'll add our next colour. We do need quite a lot of colour in here because we need some strength and design here as well. Well, that's the first run at it. Now we've got to put some depth in. I'm using 165. It's best to start from the corner, so let's start from down here. Now that looks really severe, doesn't it? And if we would run it through to there, best just to do a couple to start off with and just see how it pans out, and add some more grey as well. And I'm going to add some 181 to a little more strength. And this time, I'm going to switch colour shapers again. If you haven't got all these colour shapers, don't worry, you can just use one. But this one would just give me a little bit more precision. That comes up quite well, and this will be a shadow on the snow, That looks good. Okay, let's do this one. You see, what you're trying to imagine now is this is snow. The light is snow. And you can also put in, as I said, some shadow. Drag some of the colour from around it. And if we were to bring the white back again now, that can add more effects. Now you can probably imagine this is going to be a long old job. So I will do my usual stop-start, go through, but I'll work on all of it. I think we maybe, I'll just see if we can, so I'm not sure whether this is going to work, the 230. Well, I don't know, it might do. You might be able to use 230, where you want the grey, but you don't want it to be too strong. Well, that's not come up too bad at all. So, let me carry on with that. I'm just picking up those colours. 181, 165. I have tried and succeeded with the 230, and of course the 233 with the white as backup. But we see how we get on as we go around. This is perhaps a little closer here than that would be there, so that could be just a little bit further away, and you can indicate that. I'm just wondering if there's any more colours. I did use 182. Let's see where you can get a bit of 182 in here as well. It's nice just to add a little colour for richness. That'll go, that'll work. And maybe just a little more strength. I don't want to use black here at all, if I can help it. I think the 181 should be sufficient. To give us some depth. Right, okay, let's see how we get on all around there. When you get to these, now these have already had the colour in it, but what I didn't do is I didn't put any green on here, so I think I'll just add a little bit of 165 into here, because it's a little stark. With just the grey. That's made all the difference. Lovely. Yeah, it's almost finished now. It's the last little bit. And as I said from the beginning, the idea of this is to have this out of focus. So everything behind those leaves should register as slightly foggy, which it does. There's a little bit more green in here. A little bit of ochre. I do like that touch of ochre in it. There we are. That will do. Fine. Now we need to just pick up a little bit on, certainly on the stem, because just needs to be just a little bit more clarity there. Here we are, like that. I did say I don't want to blend it, but I think I may just do that. Yeah, that works all right. These I think okay. Do I want any more? Well, these are in focus, so these have got to have a little bit more substance to them. A bit of grey. And I think we'll add just a little more depth. 181. Just here and here and there to that's great. There'll be a little shadow falling on the snow where it's on the leaf, like that. It puts a little bit more realism into it.